how much weight should you be losing? Or if you follow all these suggestions, how much weight should you expect to lose on a weekly basis? That's a question I get all the time. I also get people who are frustrated because they're following these suggestions, they're losing weight, and then they gain it back again. And so I'm gonna speak to both those issues today. So first, spoiler alert, it's recommended that you would get about a half pound to a pound per week of weight loss, or that's what I typically see when people are following these dietary suggestions and they're moving their body properly, their hormones are working right, that sort of thing. Why a half pound to a pound per week? Why not more? Because we all know somebody who's lost 10 pounds in a month or more using Ozempic or Mounjaro or one of these GLP-1 medications, right? So the main reason is we need to preserve skeletal muscle. Like the future version of you needs as much muscle as you can put on now, which means you got to preserve what you already have, right? So those GLP-1 injectable type weight loss medications, people are losing 20 to 50% of their body, of their muscular mass of their body, like commonly, right? I see this all the time. So people come in, you not only have Ozempic face, but they've all got Ozempic butt or whatever. Like they've lost a lot of muscle mass, and that's a real problem. It's a problem for bone health. Like I predict in the future, you're going to see a lot of broken hips and thighs and just fractures of bones because bones become weak when we have less muscle, right? So we need to drive metabolism by having more muscle mass because muscle burns a lot of energy. We need to keep our bones strong, right? And we need to be able to do as much stuff as we want to do with our lives, which you can't do if you're brittle and you can't do if you're weak. Okay, so we want to preserve muscle mass. So whether you're fasting or you're following these dietary suggestions, like we need to lose not much faster than about a pound per week. All right, so, and if you think about it, really, like there's 52 weeks in a year, right? So I know plenty of people who have done these suggestions. They've changed how they eat, they change how they move their body. We might change their medications around, fix hormone problems, and they've lost 50 pounds in a year. Like people do this, right? It is totally possible, and you can do it too. But you've got to be patient. And then you also have to understand along the lines of like, if you change how you're doing things and you have a cheat day or a cheat meal and you jump on that scale and you feel depressed when you look at those numbers after your cheat day, it's because you retain a lot of water when you eat carbohydrates. Like, people don't realize that, right? So if you eat 100 grams of carbohydrates, you will retain about a pound of body weight for that. So let's say 300 grams of carbs, which is feasible totally on a cheat day, like that's 2.5 pounds or more, like 2.5 to 3 pounds of body weight. So you do a couple of cheat days in a row, or you go on a cruise, or you do New Year's, whatever you do, it's like those carbs suck back a lot of fluid weight that you're going to hang on to. Sodium will do that as well. So don't get depressed after cheat day. You might even decide not to weigh yourself after cheat day. That's totally fine. But your weight's going to do this a little bit, but it ought to move at a downward clip of about a half pound to a pound per week of body weight. So I think those are really important things to understand. I think the main focus here is like little changes over time add up to big changes, right? Consistency, consistency, consistency. So once we find what works well for you in terms of how you eat, how you move your body, just showing up. One day at the gym doesn't do much. 100 days at the gym does something for you. One healthy meal of lean meats and veggies and cutting out simple carbohydrates and sugars, like one day of that's not going to move the needle a whole lot. But doing that over and over and over again is going to treat the future version of yourself very, very well, and you'll be very happy with the results. So if you need help making those changes in your life, those habit changes, really we're talking about habit changes here, right? And that is hard to do. Habits are hard to change. New habits are hard to make. Old habits are hard to break. There's a book called Atomic Habits by a guy named James Clear. I've referenced him before. Awesome book on habit formation. Definitely one of my favorites. I'll put a link in the description below. It's not an affiliate link or anything. It's just a great book. Maybe you can find it at the library. I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful in terms of helping you understand how much weight is normal to lose per week and why you're having some struggles with weight gain after your cheat days. Thanks.